Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I have in my hands a l'chaim. This is not an unusual circumstance for me to be in, grant you, but this particular l'chaim is because I've received a mazel tov. Jack and I received a mazel tov. We had a wedding anniversary this past week. Mazel tov, thank you very much. Mazel tov. So, how were Jacqueline and I to celebrate our anniversary? Boris hopefully isn't listening in on this conversation, but we did something very audacious and bold, and we got a takeaway from Grzinski's, a salad. They do salads now. Who knew? We got our salads and we took them to the Edgewareberry area up by the farm. We found a completely remote area and we sat down and had a picnic anniversary lunch, just the two of us together. Hopefully we didn't break too many rules by doing so, but we had something to celebrate. That's only one half of how we celebrated our anniversary. The night before, we decided to watch a film. Now, this is a film that has been on my list to see for quite some time, and it's a classic. If you have not seen it yet, I know Shabbat's coming, but it might even be worth putting it on just for a few minutes to see it. The film is exceptional. It's from 1946. It's called It's a Wonderful Life. And if you have not had the opportunity to see It's a Wonderful Life, it's probably one of the most beautiful films that you'll ever get a chance to see. But there's a clip from that film, which when we were watching it together, I was tearing and crying the whole way through it. Extremely emotional, really very, very moved by the whole storyline. But there was a specific scene in that film which made me think of the Sedra. And the scene in the film was as follows. It was towards the end when George Bailey is really on his knees. And he's penniless because of the circumstances that he's found himself in. And he's about to be taken away to prison because, am I going to give this away? If you have not seen the film yet, stop listening to this drasha because I don't want to give it away. But he's really about to go bankrupt and leave everything behind. And the doors open up. It's actually Christmas night, and the doors open up, and the entire town comes and gives him all the money he needs because of what he's done to care for them. And his brother stands up and in front of everyone lifts up a glass and says to George Bailey, the richest man in town. And I remember watching that and thinking, we learn a lot from the Torah. But sometimes the Torah is so spot on in terms of its understanding of what real worth is, and you can miss it in a flash unless you're paying attention. And the Sedra informs us that we have to each donate a machazitz shekel, this half coin, towards the building of the Mishkan. And the Torah says explicitly, the usher, the rich person, the rich one, he's not able to give more than a half a shekel, and the poor person cannot give less. Every person must give that half a shekel. So this half a shekel is a really, really important coin. So when Hashem tells Moshe to construct it, you would think that Moshe would really roll up his sleeves and get to work on it. We know exactly how much it's going to weigh. It's esrim geira, exactly what the weight of it is. We know it's silver. But Moshe turns to Hashem and says, I don't know how to make this special coin. And Hashem says, Zeh yitnu, this is how you should do it, and shows an image of a fiery coin up in the heavens. And this fiery coin is this demonstration that if you think that you can judge a person's worth by how much they have in their account, the rich one or the poor one, is that their real value? Is that what makes them possibly the richest person in town? No, it's the fire, it's the neshama, it's the soul which is behind all that we have. We can have loads, we can have very little, but if our soul, if our passion, our energy, our care, our kindness, it speaks so much more than any possible financial bottom line. And when I was watching the film, I was thinking, the Torah has been telling us this very message since the beginning of time. That very, very message, that all that really counts is not how much money you have, but rather who we are. That makes us really wealthy, or possibly otherwise. And therefore, I wanted to share this as we are going into Shabbat and going into Kabbalah Shabbat, the recognition once again, the appreciation that our worth is only measured by the goodness we do. We've had a great Mazel Tov in our community this week. Our community received multiple awards in the JVN, the Jewish Volunteering Network Awards for 2020. For the dedication of the hundreds of volunteers who've reached out and worked and really exerted themselves to care for other people. How rich a community we are to have so many volunteers, to have so many people who want to give, so many people who want to help. Does that mean that we're the wealthiest community? 1,000,000%. Because the Torah teaches us, we see from films like It's a Wonderful Life, how to judge real wealth and what real wealth is supposed to signify. So, friends, as we're going into Shabbat, one of the traditions that we always have in our family is to take a chance of expressing our gratitude of the things that we're grateful for. And please God, by the time you're done, each of us in our own different ways will recognize the riches that we have in our own lives. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.